So the poster boy for too good for the G League, not good enough for the NBA right now. Obviously at his peak he was an all-star. But the poster boy post 2020 or actually post hip surgery, Isaiah Thomas, who's been the poster boy of too good for the G League, not good enough for the NBA, took over from Jimmer Fredette in that regard. And you know what? Maybe Kenneth Lofton's in there too. But for me, with the likes of Kenneth Lofton and Jimmer, they at least went overseas. Isaiah Thomas is the poster child of too good for the G League, not good enough for the NBA, but refuses to play anywhere else because they're keeping the NBA dreams alive. And Isaiah Thomas has done it again. He has done it again. He has hooped in the G League. And we've seen 50-point games from like the likes of Reed Shepherd and stuff. And now, in his first game back in the G League, Isaiah Thomas, who's again too good for the G League, is out here dropping 45 points. Or 40 points. So immediately starting, that's a good pass right there. First play of the game, fair play. But Isaiah Thomas out here dropping 40. 40 like it's nothing. Like, he's near unguardable in the G League. He is. Like, with these players, like Isaiah Thomas could still drop 20 in an NBA game. He just give 30 on the other end. And people say no defense is played. But I'm telling you, Isaiah Thomas could give you 30 on offense, on any given game on offense. His defense is just so bad that you can't even play him really in the NBA anymore. But like, he could still, if you put him in the Irish Superleague, he could drop 80. And like, there's been good players that have played in the Irish Superleague. Like, there are guards, like in the Irish League, there are guards who were the leading scorers on their teams, on teams that made the NCAA D1 tournament to play in the Irish Superleague. But he could still drop, I'd still think he could drop 70. I reckon he could drop 60, 70 in a game. Like, Isaiah Thomas, just what he can do on the basketball court is silly. And he just shows how good the NBA is, that a team with Isaiah Thomas playing meaningful minutes will not win many games. They just won't. They'd hardly win a game. If you run through Isaiah Thomas, you might win 15 games. Maybe, the Wizards should get him, just because he might put butts in seats and he'd be fun to watch. And he'd also lose you games, which is what they want. But, like, Isaiah Thomas going out there and having 40 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 threes made. Like, that is so impressive from him. And if you guys agree that it is very, very impressive, subscribe. We are so close, lads, to getting to 10,000 subscribers. We are literally like 40 subscribers off, I think. And we're trying to hit that by the end of the day. Like, we are at 9956. Our goal was always to hit it by the end of January, and we are 44 subscribers away. But yeah, like, I'm seeing this thing, top landing spots for Isaiah Thomas following massive G League return, and I'm like, none. There is no landing spot unless you're trying to lose games. The Lakers, if the Lakers sign Isaiah Thomas, that would be the funniest thing I've ever seen. He played for the Suns last year and averaged like 1 point per game. Like, he was so far off being an NBA player last year. Thomas a few stint with Lakers. They do need to have the guard position. He's also playing experience playing beside LeBron James, as he's done it with the Cavs and Lakers. When did Isaiah Thomas go back to the Lakers? I know the Cavs traded him from the Lakers. Or trade him to the Lakers. When did he go back? But like, LeBron with IT in Cleveland. I mean, Isaiah Thomas was so bad in Cleveland that they just had to get rid of him. They had to get rid of him. But yeah, like, that is a very, very interesting way to say it. The Orlando Magic is one of the better perimeter defensive team to struggle on the offensive end of the floor. I mean, look, if you are needing a scoring punch and you're cool with defense, maybe. Like, and the San Antonio Spurs, there is no way the Spurs would sign Isaiah Thomas. There is no way. But I mean, they have Chris Paul. They've got Chris Paul. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way anyone's signing Isaiah Thomas. And like, I like Isaiah Thomas. I feel so bad that Isaiah Thomas got screwed by the Celtics. I feel so bad that he didn't go and get his max contract. But the Celtics were so smart to not give him the max contract to a guy whose hip was messed up. And the thing is like, They're saying, oh, he played through it. Even if he didn't play through it and got the surgery during that 2016-17 season, he still never would have been right. Like, you don't recover from a torn labrum at 5'9" in the NBA. You just don't. There are some injuries where it's like, if you are, for example, let's just say, I'm trying to give a high flyer. Let's just say if you are Anthony Edwards. Now, Anthony Edwards can shoot a bit. If you're Ja, who's so reliant on his athleticism and speed. If you are Ja Morant and you snap your Achilles, you are done. We saw it with, I know he wasn't Ja level good. We saw how good Brandon Jennings was. And then Brandon Jennings never being right again after tearing his Achilles. Like, those type of, like, some of those injuries, any of the injuries that zap your explosiveness, if you're an explosive athlete, you never recover from. And if you're Isaiah Thomas, the ability to kind of move laterally and go in and out with the labrum tear, like, you're never going to recover from that. And that's just a fact. Like, that's not a knock on Isaiah Thomas. You just are not going to recover from that as a human. But anyway, yeah, like, that's a really, 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 really interesting situation. And it shows, again, it always, for me, it shows the difference between the NBA and the G League. When we see these types of players, I would love to see Isaiah Thomas do a Kemba Walker. And I think Isaiah Thomas, maybe not go to EuroLeague, go play Euro Cup somewhere and go get buckets. Like, there are teams in Euro Cup that just want you to get buckets. Go to one of those teams. Genuinely. Go to one of those teams overseas that just want you to get buckets. And with that, it's an important like role to play. And I don't know, I just think the players should, maybe it's because I'm from overseas, I think that the players should play at the highest level that they can play at. And the G League is not the highest level he can play at. But the NBA is also too high a level. I would love to see these players be willing to go overseas, but I just don't know if it'll happen. And I don't know if it's something that, if I don't know if it's really something that Isaiah Thomas is willing to do. And I think he has enough money that he could do it, but I would love to see him play in Europe. Because, like, your top leagues in Europe are so much higher level than the G League. And I would love to see him keep playing ball at the highest level and not keep going to the G League, playing one NBA game a season, scoring 1 point, and then stopping playing, waiting for a contract, going back to the G League. I know the dream of these players is to play in the NBA, but I still would love to see players like this just playing at the highest level possible for as long as they can. And we've seen 5 years of this guy barely playing basketball, where he's going to have 5 great years somewhere else. But anyway, I'll see you guys.